What's up, YouTube, man? The homie Big D back in the building, baby. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody who been supporting the channel, man, who been got done commenting, everybody who don't subscribe, everybody who be liking my videos, everybody who got done hyping the videos, everybody who got done me on the team, man. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Remember the got done what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save as many young lives as possible, man, and to keep them from going down the path that I went and end up in the penitentiary. Remember, they're getting out more time, not less time. But let's get straight to it, man. No shouts out on this video because, like I said, I'm trying to do as many episodes as possible. That way I won't be stretching myself too thin, man. So, yeah, we're going to be in Frank Scott with this one, man. Down to Frank Scott. So, we died in Frank Scott. I think I was on Sea Hall at this time right here, but this is really insignificant to the story. But yeah, I was on Sea Hall, man. And I was on the rake yard when this guy walked up and he was mobbing about 10, 15 dudes. You know what I mean? He was with the gang members, with the gang and a few other gang members and stuff like that. And they walking up toward me. And the dude who leading the pack, I recognize him, but you know, like I said, you never know. I don't know if he had been here. I met him somewhere else. But when he said, man, what's up, Big D, boy? I heard you down here. And then I knew who he was. So he was a guy, actually, that I was in ALTO. Now, me and the guy knew of each other. But we was cool. We was okay. I can't say we was cool because, you know, we had a rapport because me and his bus partner was cool. Now, I never had been in the dorm with him, but he seemed like he was cool. I never heard anything bad about him or anything indifferent. You know what I mean? To say that he was on the predatory list, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just see him. And most of the time, I might just see him talking to his bus partner or co-defendant. And they were, when he pushed up on me and stuff like that, man, what's going on, man? I heard you down here, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm finna go ahead and get this thing right. I had no ideology of what he was talking about. I said, what you talking about, man? You don't get what right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He like, nah, man, you know, I just carried down him, man. And they put me in the number 2 position. And I'm standing there like him. And yeah, man, you know, I want the one. I want the one, man, but you know, they put me in 2, man. But you know, I'm gonna work with the one, man. I'm gonna get this thing right, man. We're gonna have this structure all the way down pat. And that is all coming to understanding to my consciousness of what he's talking about. Because at first he had me lost, like he had half the conversation in his head, and when he pulled up, he was just giving me the back half of what he thought he had already said to me. So I'm like, yeah, and he like, yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So shoot, man, just goddamn, just keep your eyes open, man. Everything gonna goddamn everything, man. I'm gonna get this thing all the way together. I'm like, okay, man, I get it, man. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Cause I want to know why is you telling me. He like, man, cause you know, I know, you know what I'm saying? You know what's going on. I like, nah, I honestly, I don't. Like, I'm confused right now. He like, nah, man, you know, with the game thing, I like, man, cause he said the name of the game. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not involved in none of this at all, man. I am a civilian. He like him, hi, man. He said, you still on the BS? Like, it was a thing, a thought process of most of the people who was involved in this certain game that I was a part of it because I had some familiarity with it. And that was not true because I never interacted or did anything for the benefit of it per se. You know what I mean? Now, because I wasn't in agreement with a lot of things that went on, even if I was ever wanted to be part of that, I wasn't going to be part of it, especially not in ALTO, because in ALTO, that thing was chaotic at best. Because like I said, everybody was moving in their own beat and had their own personal drive, and whatever rules and regulations that's supposed to be applied to this certain game, none of that was actually followed. if it didn't benefit the individual and whatever they got on mission or mindset was. If it didn't fit that, then I'm doing whatever I feel like I'm doing. And if whatever I'm doing gets me in trouble or gets some retaliatory actions back towards me, I would run to the gang to save me. And they would do it. So it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I'm not. It's the same to me. It was like looking out for somebody. I don't want to pick up another person's issues. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got my own issues. But let's move on with the story. So he's telling me this. And he was like, yeah, man, I am one of these dudes. Well, he told me that, and he pushed off, but he was still pulling up on me. And he like, yeah, man, I ain't one of these dudes get out of line. Man, I'm knocking them out, beating them unmercifully. Now, hold up, man. He telling me all this. I had never seen this man get into no fight, squabble, hooks, or nothing. Now, I can't say anything bad about him. I never was in an actual dormitory with him. I don't know what he was doing in the other dormitory, but here's the thing is about prison. Like I said, there's no secrets in prison. So whatever your MO is, it's gonna hit the compound. Everybody gonna know about this guy that's knocking out people everywhere he go. It's just automatically. You're gonna find out. You know what I mean? You're gonna know this. And his name never ring in that manner. Now his bus partner was a mover and shaker. You know what I mean? He had motion. He was in the mix. So yeah, Home would get into the money because of his attachment to his bus partner. So yeah, that I had heard about him. And I guess by him being able to hold his money and do all the things he was doing, that he might have gave himself a false sense of feeling like he was bigger and better than what he actually was. But yeah, and every way he moved on that compound at Frank Scott, it seemed like him 10, 15, 20 dudes walking with him. Everywhere he go, I'm talking about he walk around the red yard, everybody else was walking with him. And to me, on the outside looking in, to me, it looked like one king, 10 puppets. That's what it looked like to me. 10 subjects. One king and 10 subjects. And y'all all following and at the whim of this one person, this one man. Now, I don't know, they were running security for him to make sure he was good, but he had a whole bunch of mouth. That I did know about him. That he talked $1,000 worth of goddamn duty. That's what he did. He gonna talk that junk. Yes. And with that said, what comes with that is you don't have to stand on it, man. I don't care what prison you at. You know what I mean? Eventually, man, somebody gonna get tired of hearing you run your mouth, or you gonna step on the wrong toes of the wrong person, and somebody gonna gonna see what you're talking about. I don't care nothing about your 10, 15 dudes and none of that. Enter this young boy. So it was this young boy, man. He from the seaport, stuff like that. He was cool dude. He wasn't trying to be part of anything. He just basically floating through life during his time. And I noticed like he was one of those type of people that like to be by himself. Now, don't get me wrong. He talked to other people and stuff like that. I remember one time I was sitting up on the gazebo. He pulled up on me and he sat down. What made me like the young boy because he asked me a question that makes sense. And I'm gonna tell you what he asked me. Cause I'm sitting up on the gazebo like that. He pulled up. He like, "Hey, what's up, big bro?" I'm like to him, "What's going on?" He was like, "Oh, man, you ain't playing ball today?" I said, "Nah, man, I ain't going out today, man. I'm just gonna chill today. I just wanted to get out here and get me a little vitamin D, my boy." He like to him. He like, "What they do?" I said, "Sitting in the sun, man." He said, "Oh, okay." He like, he like, "I want to ask you a question, man." He said, "Man, I don't want to be in your business, nothing like that." He said, "Man, but they said you've been down for a minute, and man, I got like I got 15 years on robbery, man. They said I got to do the whole 15, man. I'm trying to figure out, man, like, what would be the best way for me to just, like, do my time, man. I ain't trying to get caught up in them, man. I'm trying to get out. I got a little girl, trying to get home with her. You know what I mean? I know she was just born when I got locked up. She gonna be like 15 when I get out, man. But I'm trying to figure out how I can just do my time and not end up getting caught up in that, man. I said, man, stay in your lane. Don't get outside of it, dog. You know what I mean? That's how best way I can tell you. He said, yeah, man, because he said, man, I see how you be cool and stuff like you don't be all in people's face and stuff like that. He said, man, I'm just trying to figure out if that's something that I need to do. I like, yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? For sure. I ain't telling you to, do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, but what about if somebody like be trying me or something like that? So I like, trying you like how? He like, nah, people be running their mouth, man. He said, man, I'm kind of quiet. I don't talk a lot. And I'm just trying to figure out what the best way for me, you know what I mean, to avoid stuff. He said, man, I ain't scared, but I'm just saying, I don't want to catch no more time. I was like, well, in prison, people gonna try. I said, this just comes along with it. And sometimes you got to go ahead and put it down to let people know you ain't nothing to play with. I said, you just hope that you don't go no farther than that, man. You know what I mean? But I said, man, I believe in God, so I just pray. You know what I mean? He said, I do too. You know what I mean? I pray a lot too. He said, man, yeah. I said, yeah, I just pray, man. Nobody got nothing crossed that line. He said, man, but you don't have to fight before in here. I said, yeah, more than I wanted to. I said, but that comes along with the territory, man. You know what I mean? And I told him I had been out of ALTO. I said, them boys leave you little or no choices. I know. So he like, yeah, I heard about that. And we sat there and chopped it up, and I asked him, he from Savannah and all that stuff like that. And I brought up a few guys' names that I knew from Savannah. He knew them, you know what I mean? All knew of them, stuff like that. And after that, every time he would see me, he would speak like, what's up, big bro? And he'll keep it moving. And, over time, he had picked up him a couple of little cats that he started kicking it with, rocking it with. Basically, those dudes I could say was on the same type of time that he was. How him and I'm gonna call dude from ALTO that I knew, Gangster. How him and Gangster end up bumping head, I do not know. I think, if I'm not mistaken, because I walked up on the altercation, and I'm trying to remember. I don't want to lie. I try to make it something fill in, a backstory fill in to make the story flow. I'm giving y'all accurate descriptions of what I seen when I walked up and from what I was hearing afterwards and doing the whole situation. Apparently, he was sitting at the table that Gangster felt like was for him and his gang. I didn't know they had started marking territory up on the gazebo, but it was him and his couple of friends that he had picked up while he was in there. The guys, well, I ain't gonna say friends, his associates that he had picked up in there, little dude from Savannah. You know what I mean? Apparently, goddamn Gangster said he need to get off the table. And to be fair, ain't nobody pushing me nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm sitting here chilling and y'all just push up and ain't nobody told me beforehand, and you just gonna come mid-game and tell me these are the new rules, nah, G, it ain't gonna happen like that. I just can't see myself goddamn folding up under that. So apparently Gangster came and told the young dude that he need to get up out that spot. And this wasn't the first time that he done did it. And apparently he had told him one time before. You know what I mean? And they had some words about it. So I guess this time young dude wasn't going back. You know what I mean? Young dude like, man. And this is what I walked up to, man, man, you keep messing with me, bro. I told you, man, leave me alone, man. I just want to do my time and go home, man. That's it, man. I got a daughter. I'm trying to get back to my daughter. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to argue with you. I'm not going to go back and forth, but I'm not going to run from you. So, old boy, he was like to him, so, man, you must don't know about me, man. I'm going to have to go ahead and prove to y'all dudes down here, man, I ain't nothing to play with, man. I ain't nothing to play with. As I walk up, he looks directly at me, D-Man, you better tell these dudes, man. You better tell them, man. We were down in that toe, man. You know what I mean? Now, here's the thing. that it seemed to be a myth amongst inmates and people that was locked up at that era during that time. And what I'm speaking of is like the mid 2000, the mid early 2000, first decade of 2000, like 2005, 2006, one of those years. You know what I mean? But it was a myth that was believed throughout the prison system from the time that I hit up to that point right there, that dudes from ALTO was great fighters. Like, you don't want to fight a dude from ALTO. That these dudes, everybody down there that came home with their manhood or held their manhood in ALTO was just great fighters. Like, their squabble game is a million. Their hook game is untouchable, undeniable. If you ain't been to the toe, then you don't stand a chance with dealing with a dude from the toe. That type of thought process was in there. And that's not true. That's not true. Then don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There was a bunch of good and great fighters down there. But not everybody could fight. Some people only got brown by because they had a lot of homeboys, or nobody just didn't deal with them because, for whatever reason, they was able to maneuver their way through. But great fighters didn't come like that. Like, just because you was in ALTO doesn't mean that you can go. Now, dudes in ALTO did a lot of training, the ones that could fight. You can tell the ones that could fight by watching them fight. Because there been dudes I don't seen beat the shit out the wind. And you know what I mean? Shadow boxing, they'll beat the shit out their shadow. But boy, when they get in that mix, and that first punch got done, get thrown, and they get tapped across that table, all that goes out the window, out the door. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes dudes from ALTO believe that you are telling a person that they done been to ALTO, that you done been to ALTO to make that person, deter that person from standing up for themselves, for you supposed to just fold up under like, oh, I don't want that problem, man. I don't want to fight nobody with ALTO. Man, young dude ain't studying that, man. First time in prison, man. That man telling you, man, he don't want a problem. And you don't know nothing about this man. You don't know what type of training and skill set this man got. So you talking to this man and throwing that out there in the air, maybe he feel like, okay, I wouldn't want to do my time in peace. And if I punch you out, Mr. I've been the ALTO face ass boy, you know what I mean? Then ain't nobody gonna mess with me. So when he tell little buddy that, little buddy like, man, I don't care about none of that, man. He said, man, I tell you what, you give me a one-on-one. You and your homeboys and all that, don't jump on me, man. He said, I bet you, I promise you I'll beat your ass unmercifully out here. And that's exactly what he told the man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna beat you unmerciful, man. You ain't gonna be no problem. I'm gonna beat you to death. I'm gonna beat you. He said what he told him. I'm gonna beat you now. And buddy like, man, I don't need nobody to help me, man. He said he turned around to the gang and told the gang members that, hey, nobody help me. This is a one-on-one. Anybody try to jump in and help me getting violated. So they were like, cool. You know what I mean? I guess they were like, yeah, we want to see what you got anyway. So he lined up with old boy. Now remember, I told y'all in an earlier story about how they used to do it in Frank Scott. They would walk the track all the way to the backside of the track. On the backside of the track, the officer cannot see what's going on that backside of the track. So everybody used to go around there to the backside of the track and fight. So they went to the backside of the track. Now, usually I don't go to these things because I be like, I don't want to see these folk fight and stuff like that. But I ain't gonna lie, I was curious to see what Buddy was talking about, meaning gangster. I wanted to know what gangster had. So we walked back there. I walked back there with him. You know what I mean? And it was a part of me also saying to myself, I said, man, you know what? I ain't gonna let these dudes jump on him, man. So I called a couple cats from Atlanta. You know what I mean? And they walked over there with me too. A couple of, actually, they were from ALTO with me. I said, fuck down here with me, man. And they walked with me, but they had that look in their eye like, D, don't get into that. But as I was walking, I looked at my partner, Gank, and told Gank, like, Gank said, hey, man, he put it on the guy on the gang that he didn't want no help. He said, ain't nobody gonna get in. It one-on-one. We walked back though, man. Him and Buddy squared up. I would like to say it was a good fight. I would love to have told y'all that, you know what I mean? Little Buddy got done this and Gangster did his thing that way. And then what it was one-on-one, you know what I mean? Mano a mano, you know what I mean? It was a one-sided slaughter. Lil Buddy beat Gangster unmercifully. Now, I don't dislike Gangster. Actually, I like Gangster. You know what I mean? But Gangster cannot fight. That's just being truthful. I should tell you what I seen. Look, man, listen here, man. Young boy, man, afterward, we talked about it. He like, yeah, he boxed on the street. He quit boxing. He been boxing since he was 7 years old. Regional champ. You know what I mean? He was going up for Golden Glove. But he stopped boxing. But he still would train. And he wasn't lying. He beat Gangster unmercifully. Gangster didn't quit. I give him that. He didn't fold up and do the goddamn. I don't know. I know what I mean? He was in there. He was in the mix. But man, he went to sleep 3 times. I'm talking about where you're getting up stumbling. And Buddy was trying to walk out. No, he ain't over. He ain't over, man. He ain't over. And the boy like, man, it's over with. Nah, I slipped. Right into a right hook, to a level uppercut. A few of them jab caught you. You slipped a couple of them jab too, homeboy. You slipping a lot. You really was slipping when you called that man out. That's what you went to slipping at right there. Man, that man beat that man unmercifully. I'm talking about, man, had my boy Gangster left a raccoon out there, man. So, you know what I mean? And afterward, Gangster was like, man, I'm going to get it, man. When I heal up, man, I'm going to go ahead, man. Sure, I got to poke him up, man. I can't go out like that. Man, you went out like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You called that man out. You know what I'm saying? You thought you had a nice little pretty cat and messed around and grabbed the bell. That boy, the truth. The way he was on gangster, I said, man, I'm glad being that young dude cool, man. I'm talking about for real. Afterwards, man, you know, the young dude, man, no dude, people's like, man, don't mess with him, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he didn't get out of character. He didn't start, because I seen a lot of time when dudes finally got done, pop their chair in prison to get the fight and find out that they good. A lot of times they just get outside themselves. They just start being, you know what I mean, over thuggish. But he wasn't that. You know what I mean? He continued on doing his time, same way he had been doing his time up to that point. You know what I mean? But there's a lesson to that, man, that, you know, sometimes, man, judging the book by its cover, man. You know, you feel like you went through something and survived something. It don't make you better than a person that you don't know nothing about, because you don't know what this person done been through, what life experiences this person done had, the things that this person done been through, man. So you looking down at them talking about, I survived hell. You know what I mean? You survived a part of hell that you, just because you survived your own personal hell, don't mean that person ain't survived it as well. And you looking down at this person like this person's a nobody or nothing. You know what I mean? Insignificant. And you go crossing over that path and try to push this person out your pathway because you feel like he in your lane when you really in theirs. You know what I mean? And you end up had to deal with the consequences of that. And then the case of Gangster, man, Gangster trying to bully that young boy, man. And little buddy wasn't going for it, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I asked Gank about it. You know what I'm saying? Gank said, man, that's over with. You know what I mean? He called the man out. It is what it is. And, you know, Gangster, he didn't lose rank in the game per se, but he did lose rank in the eyes of the people who was following behind him. Because now it wasn't 10 people walking behind him. It was like 2 people that were walking with him. So I guess that was just part of their security detail. And, you know what I mean? He kind of became reclusive and kind of withdrawn. He wasn't talking as loud as much now with the chest poked out like it was then. Hey, man, it comes with it, though, man. That's prison, man. But, man, till the next time, man. Also, man, y'all young boys stay free, man. And young ladies stay free, man. You know what I'm saying? Be cautious, man, and be mindful of what you got going on around you, man. The people that you keep around you, man. You know, everybody who say they're your friend really ain't your friend, man. So it's love out here, man. It's love in this world, man. Just got to search for that love, man. Look for that peace, man. And search for love, man. Search for that love, man. and walk in the midst of faith, man. You know what I mean? Carry God everywhere with you, man. Shun the devil. Shame the devil. Hey, man, till the next time, man. The homie Big D, man. You know what I mean? Like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna cause you one Japanese yen, man. Tell a friend that told somebody, man. One love.